Prisoner, prisoner, locked up, can't get you off my mind, Lord knows I tried a million. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Hi there.
I'm Evan Sinclair.
I'm Ryan Sinclair.
And today we're going to be reviewing the new Miley Cyrus album.
Yep, Plastic Hearts.
For some history here, Ryan and I don't have a lot of experience listening to Miley Cyrus. I have significantly more than he does, though. Whether you remember this or not, we've both listened to Hannah Montana 2 a fair amount of times.
Yeah, I remember.
Growing up with stepsisters will do that. But then I've also heard Bangers and her Dead Pets, and I think that might be it for me.
Yeah, I've heard most of Dead Pets. I didn't like it enough to finish it, to be honest. And I don't think I've heard all of Bangers, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I went into this album with relatively low expectations. You know, I'm not really a huge Miley fan. I kind of expected to be disappointed, but in the end, I really felt, more positively than negative about it.
I did too, which was great. Honestly, I do think that of all the Miley Cyrus albums that I've heard, this is easily my favorite. Mm-hmm. Not to say that it's fantastic, but it's definitely my favorite.
It's a nice little palette tester. She does she's grabbing from a lot of different styles of pop music, and she's doing a lot of
specifically the 80s.
Yeah,
she is ripping everything from the 80s in this album.
Yeah, and I definitely enjoyed hearing a lot of that, taste tester style of hopping around in different zones. But overall, there's nothing new happening here.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Taste Tester is a great way of putting this album. Actually, it's going to cover a lot of those 80s pop sounds, pop rock sounds that you're probably all familiar with. Even all the features, except for Dua Lipa, are 80s stars. Joan Jett and
Billy
Idol. Yeah. So for me, this album thrived in the more exciting moments. There are quite a few of slower songs and ballads, and I don't think a single one of the slower songs hit me like the more exciting ones did.
I will contest that and say that my favorite song on the album might be High.
Really?
Yeah.
I
thought that on the first listen, I wasn't impressed, honestly. But I don't know. It has a certain organic rhythmic flow to it. She's leaning into some interesting cadences and, doing some really dramatic reaches with her voice. And I think overall it works really well.
That's really funny because I kind of thought that song was a little annoying.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't super crazy about the lyrics. I like the intent of the lyrics, but they came across as kind of just very surface level to me. But something that I will say about that song that I really liked is I thought the ending hit hard, where she, that final lyric of then maybe you won't hate me at the end after.
Are you sure we're talking about the same song? Because I think the song after that is when she says at my funeral, I hope you get drunk and high.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hate Me. The song is Hate Me. You're right.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I think that Miley's voice thrives when she's kind of got that little gruffness to it. Do you know what I'm talking about? She's got her kind
like a real back of the throat kind of.
Yeah, and I think that her voice is beautiful when she uses that, and I don't think she uses it enough in this album. I think she's going for just loud, powerful pop vocals, but when she does show that little bit of gruffness in her throat behind her singing, I think it's beautiful, and I would love it if she kind of took more advantage of that for future records.
I generally really liked how well she played with others on this album. I think all the features, especially when they're harmonizing together and everything, they were really great. I thought Dua Lipa was great on that. Was it the single from the album?
Yeah, Prisoner.
Yeah. I thought Dua Lipa was great. She had a really commanding presence on that song. They really worked well together, playing off each other and harmonizing and everything. I really liked the Stevie Nicks appearance on the Midnight Sky remix. I thought that was really nice. She got a lot of moments to really, shine and do her thing alongside Miley's, which was a lot of fun to hear. I actually wasn't huge on the Billy Idol track, although I think he did perform really well on that song. I think that he did his thing. It was awesome hearing that. Yeah. I loved hearing that in the track. Although I will say, honestly, the song did come off as a little bit more boring to me. It's pretty simple.
It is simple and honestly not super exciting. I will say, though, that song has been stuck in my head for the past couple days.
Night
On
calling.
on top of What the Fuck Do I Know, which is actually one of my favorite songs on the track. And if I could talk,
album?
yes, on the album. I don't know if you felt the same way that I did, but I thought the pre-chorus on that song was so fun, like really well written, really catchy. And then when the actual chorus hits, like, what the fuck do I know? There was like no power behind the production at all. And I was like, the build up to that chorus, I was like, oh, this is going to be really cool. Then it just fell immediately flat for me. And I was like, oh, I like the pre-chorus more than the actual chorus.
Yeah, they have like the little mallets in the background
Yeah,
supporting the melody.
It was fun.
Beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep.
I love
that's
that.
It's definitely fun, like a nice, like high energy syncopated rhythm. It's definitely good stuff. I don't know if I agree with you on the losing the energy thing though. I enjoyed that song. You know,
I did too, but I really felt like I think the pre-chorus was like significantly better than the actual chorus. The chorus just didn't hit for me. I just was like that rise. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool, and then there was no energy in the production for me. The actual like delivery and the power behind the line, what the fuck do I know? Like, I felt nothing.
I will say there's one tune on this album that I will verifiably say is dog shit.
Yeah,
and that's "Give Me What I Want."
Okay.
I can genuinely say that I have something to like about most of the tracks on this album. Like there's generally just well-rounded pop tunes that are pretty well crafted, and you know, maybe not stepping outside the box too much, but at least they're staying in their lane well. I just thought that "Give Me What I Want" was just a horrible song that stained the track list pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think that there was a song that I actively didn't like you had with that one, but I would say probably a good third of them. I was like, yeah, maybe even half of them. I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, I started losing interest towards the end.
Yeah, I think that it does feel fairly front-loaded.
Yeah, I'd say the first half of the album is pretty good consistently, and it starts to sort of.
Well, I think that kind of goes back to what I say. A lot of the slower, more ballady songs are in the second half, I think.
Like, what was that song you were talking about? "Hate Me"? That's not a good song. I don't really like that song
I
very
wasn't
much.
crazy about that one, but I liked the ending of it. Anywho, man, so what are you feeling for a score on this one?
That's a tough one. It sort of fluctuates for me because, you know, on days where I'm less patient, I would go as low as a 4, but I would say, given that it's sort of grown on me, and given that it's sort of shown me that it's you know, worth more than just the average, you know, pop release, I would probably safely say this is like a 5.
Hey, that's what I was feeling.
There we go.
Hey, first same score, man.
Wow.
Average.
I feel reluctant to say it's good as so much as I'm very comfortable saying there are good songs on this album.
Yeah. I would have no issue, you know, recommending this album to somebody if they were looking for just a straightforward, put it on in the car type album. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a classic. No real new ideas being thrown around here, but it does it does a fine job.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
check it out if you like Miley Cyrus.
Worth a shot. I would say check it out even if you don't like Miley Cyrus. You might be pleasantly surprised. You might be pleasantly surprised that you know she's not as boxed in as you might think she is.
True.
Know?
Thank you for watching this time, guys. It was, as always, really fun to review something for you guys. We're always really interested to hear what you guys have to say as well. If you want to leave any comments about what you thought of the album, if you've heard it, please do. We'd love to engage with you with that a little more. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to us.
All right.
Cool.
Well, hey, another one in the bag.
Hey, have a...